Hey YouTube, it's Renee and I'm getting ready to go on a weekend retreat. I have this ancient Creative Memories bag. The address on there is from a house I haven't lived in 10 years, and I had it before that, but this bag is very huge and very old and dusty because it's been in my basement. And here I'm showing you the 3 albums that I'm going to be working on this weekend. They're all travel albums, and then I have the 3 kits that I'm going to be using for each album, and then the pictures for one of the albums because the rest of them are already kind of spread out in the albums. Here I'm trying to show you that I have a couple punches, and this is where I had some keep my adhesive, but I have punches on the sides of the bags. That other bag pocket was kind of dark. And then I have another small bag that goes on top, and I have my notes. These were my big projects that I wanted to get done this year. And now I'll just flip around aimlessly until I find the page. But the 3 projects that I'm going to work on this weekend are the East Coast road trip, finish up my Las Vegas trip, and the London and Ireland trip. I really don't have too much for that. I'm showing you here, I have a whole ton of page protectors because I'm using Pocket Pages this weekend. And then I have black and white, gold and gray thickers. If I have specific ones for a project, they're in those page kits I showed you. Then I have this bag, and I'm going to pull it out. I have it in there because I'm going to buy some extra albums this weekend, so I'm just compressing everything to take it out to the crop. This little pocket has got all my different adhesives, my foam squares and tape, and liquid adhesives. I've got a couple there, and some glue dots. Here's just an assortment of stamps that I'm going to be using this weekend. They're mostly travel or photo related. And then here's a piece of wax paper that I'm going to use for lining up my thickers. I have my T-square. I have a very, very old ancient Xyron Tim Holtz scissors. And here I have a couple enamel dots, my favorite edge trimmer, and that punch there, tiny attacher, some ink pads. As I'm kind of digging out the ink pads, that blue Webster's Pages has all my pens and my tape runners in it. I also have some washi in the bottom of that bag there. And then a date stamp, that How You Swap date stamp, and then just a phrase stamp, roller stamp. So that goes in that bag right there. There's some blocks on the side there, stamping blocks, and then this one's got my trimmer refill. So my trimmer is just going to sit right on top, and I'm going to zip that up. I was trying to figure out how I was going to put those wipes in, but I ended up taking a bunch out of the bag and sticking them in that front pocket. I put them in a gallon Ziploc bag. I don't know why I'm showing you that again, but so here I am. I'm all ready to go to my weekend crop. Hey YouTube, we are crossing the border from Minnesota into Wisconsin. You can see the sign up here. We're almost at the retreat, only about 5 more minutes.
So this is what I got done at the crop. I really wanted to finish this London and Ireland album. We went in 2013, the fall of 2013, and I got quite a bit done, but there's 41 page protectors in there, so that's 82 layouts. Now the majority of them are pocket pages, but I felt like it was all laid out and I had quite a bit of journaling in there. But I felt like I needed more embellishment and more, I don't know, just more journaling, just more. So I don't want to take up a lot of time, but I'll just kind of flip through and show you, here I have like 8 layouts just on the Victoria and Albert Museum. So, sorry about that. There were actually some kids outside shooting Nerf guns at each other in cars, and they stopped in front of my house, so Crystal was not happy about that. And then here's more of London. We went to the Vikings game at Wembley Stadium, and then we met some Welsh guys, and they wanted to take a picture with my husband. And then we went to Ireland. We took the ferry to Dublin, and this is the brochure. And it was kind of foggy that day, so you couldn't see much. My husband, and his hats, and at Temple Bar, and we saw these little foxes, which we don't see foxes on a regular basis. Probably if you live in Europe, they're probably a nuisance. But anyway, walking around Dublin, the Book of Kells, inside what it looks like in the book. Dublin Castle, lunch that we had, the Guinness factory, when we went to the Hill of Tara. Lots of pictures of that. And Newgrange, and Howth, the little fishing village, and we took the train to Belfast. Just trying to flip through quick so you can get an idea. And more of like a river trip, and that is the coolest place ever, the Titanic Museum. Kind of a Titanic, not really groupie, but some are obsessed with the Titanic, and this is the coolest place ever in Belfast. If you get a chance, I highly recommend going there. But this tour, we got to see like the docks. It was kind of funny because they say the Titanic was fine when we left, when we sent her out. Anyway, kind of implying that, you know, the English wrecked it. And then Shankill Road, and then the murals, and then this is a wrap-up page saying that, yeah, it rained every freaking day we were in Ireland. And then this is just some extra stuff. But then the last page, we had lunch in Paris, so I'm just talking about how it's kind of fun to write on your Facebook status that you're having lunch in Paris. So that is my London and Ireland book that I finished on the crop. If you guys want to see more of this page, at some point I might go through it more, but this primarily used the carte postale from Basic Gray. So I worked on that album all of Friday night and then Saturday morning until lunch. It really took me a lot longer than I thought it was going to take. So then one of my other goals was to work on our East Coast road trip that we took in 2010. And I only got, I think, one layout done, which is the title page here. And that's us at the top of the rock. And then I have some notes on things I still want to do. I did all like the little title pages. I have to just glue them down. I thought this worked really good with like a New York City type of page. And then the problem I had is here we are going on the ferry from New Jersey where my husband's cousin and aunt live. We stayed at his aunt's house. These pictures are old. They're from 2010. So some of them are regular 4x6 size and some of them are that weird true digital that was out for a while. So they don't quite fit in the pockets. So I had to take like paper and glue them down because it just looks so weird. So anyway, I fit most everything in the pockets, and here's the Statue of Liberty in the background. I'm sorry for the shadows. Sometimes it's like snowing, and then it's raining, and then it's snowing, and then it's bright, and then it's dim. This is the 9/11. I'm not done with this, but that's my sister and her significant other, father of her 2 children, and my 2 children. And my sister was pregnant with her daughter at this point, and a Metro card. And then here's all of us, my husband's 2 cousins, and me, and my 2 kids, and my husband. And after we went to lunch, and this is top of the rock. I'm sorry, there's a shadow there. And the high school kids are coming home, so she's getting a little frisky. But anyway, I just love this Urban Traveler. It just works so great for New York City pages. Maybe if I move the tripod over a little bit this way, it'll be a little better and get out of the shadow. Anyway, so I have a little picture on my fridge I'm going to put of my husband's cousins and the 4 of us. It's a little tiny picture I'm going to put there. We're all sitting on the top of the rock. And then this one's almost done. It needs some embellishment of Times Square. And then I have a funny story about street cake that I'm going to put here. I'm not sure what to do with this. We went and saw Avenue Q. This is a regular page protector. I might use that fuse that I got and put a 6x12 and write about kind of how it's controversial that we took our kids to see Avenue Q. But I don't know, they were in their teens, so I'm sure they've seen a lot worse. And then here we are waiting on the ferry to get back to New Jersey, and just some kind of night shots of New York City. And then over here is the Jersey Shore, and there was a storm coming in. We had some brunch, and I forget the name of the beach that we were at, but I'll have to get that from my husband's cousin. But this kind of place here was an old casino that it actually had some really, really cool murals in it. So our road trip was, we went to New Jersey, we spent the day in New York City, we spent another day on the Jersey Shore, and then we went to Boston. And I think I want to put one more page in here talking about our nightmare trip between New Jersey and Boston, and we got stuck in this like colossal traffic jam. It was just terrible. Anyway, so we had to go way out of our way, and I think we actually got into our hotel in Boston at like 4 in the morning. I don't know how we made it, but anyway, this is gonna be my title page for Boston, and maybe I'll write that on here, how it took us so long. But then my daughter was part of a skating competition, and this is her friend and her friend's coach, and they did this competition called Jump and Spin. So she was the spinner and she was the jumper, and they won first. And then just some of her medals. And then this is the Minuteman Park. I'm missing some stuff that I need to get done. Anyway, here's Concord. Here's a rough Waldo Emerson House. I'm missing some pictures from the JFK library that I need to put in here. One of my daughter, Megan, because she did a school project on John F. Kennedy, so she really wanted to go to the museum. And I don't have a lot of pictures, but I know I have one of her in the museum. And then here's on the Freedom Trail, and more Boston and the Freedom Trail. Sorry about that. And continuing on, this is the Granary Cemetery, burying grounds. And some famous revolutionary people were buried here, including Paul Revere. And you notice, again, I have those true digital, so I had to put in some, I need to put some over here. I think I'm going to do like a craft for those true digitals that don't quite fit. And then this was our final night at the competition. They had, for all the competitors and their families, they had a Boston Harbor cruise party. And so just really beautiful Boston photos of sunset over Boston Harbor. I have more photos of my daughter. She was dancing and having a great time, and of us that I need to find and put here. And then just sunset over Boston Harbor, really pretty. And then Niagara Falls. And these are just pictures of the falls. Again, a dang true digital. And then some photos of us at the top of the falls. And I have this Made of the Mist. We didn't go on it, but it has a lot of good information in it, so I'm going to keep it. And then finally, my favorite pictures of the rainbows. In fact, this was in our Christmas card that year because I just really love that photo of my 2 kids on the rainbow. It's really fun. And then this will be the final page, and then the ending page will be this one here. I haven't decided what I'm going to do. But I have a lot of stuff I can still use. if we go on another urban road trip. And I've been considering maybe, you know, going to Chicago or maybe St. Louis this summer. I don't know if I'll actually get around to it, but I'd like to do that at some point. So I worked on this book from Saturday at lunch, when we got back from lunch, about 12:30, 1 o'clock, until about, I think, 12:30 at night when I went to bed. So I got quite a bit done, but not as much as I was hoping to. And plus, you know, you're chatting and stuff, so. And Saturday, we did take a little break, and we went down to this little teeny tiny scrapbook store in Osceola. I really wanted to support them, but they really didn't have anything that I wanted. So, since I brought all 3 books with me on Sunday morning, got up around 6:30 because the cabin that I was staying in, my bed was right by the window, and there was a little crack in the curtain, and as soon as that sun came up, there was no going back to bed. So I got up about 6:30, went over to the crop about 7, and I actually won tickets in the drawing for being the first one up. Actually, I was the second one in the door, and somebody just beat me by, like, I don't know, a couple seconds, but so we both got tickets for being the first one. So then I'm working on my Las Vegas album, and this was my last trip that I took in February. So this one is a little different because it has mostly layouts and only a few pocket pages. Well, if you count the Valley of Fire, there's quite a few, and the raft trip, there's kind of a lot, but anyway, so this is what I worked on. I got the pictures together for the title page. I worked on this picture. Well, it's winning my breakfast. I still need to embellish it. I already did this page. I already had these 2 pages done. This little arrow came off. I'm going to have to put that back on. I started working on this page for the Signa Derby. And this picture I took off the website. Like, I did a screen cap with my cell phone, and then I printed it off on my Canon Selfie. And so it's kind of ready to go. I just have to put it together. And then this page needs to be a little more embellished. I worked on that page. Talking about how funny it was getting the $12.99 steak and lobster at the Fremont. Just kind of funny. The way it's kind of like everybody's all frenzied to get this $12.99 steak and lobster. It's a little tiny lobster and it's a little tiny steak. Which was good for me because that's what I could eat on my diet. I couldn't eat any of this other stuff, but the vegetables or the potatoes. But I could eat the lobster and I could eat the steak. So for $12.99, and plus I think I won like $30 playing the goldfish game, waiting to get in. So another free meal. Anyway, so I think I'm going to move this one over here and make a full page layout over here about the Valley of the Fire. So this was in the visitor center, and I spent a lot of time at the crop cutting the papers, and I showed you in that one haul, and putting the pictures kind of in order. I had to get them printed. I didn't really have them all printed, but this is in the Valley of the Fire. And driving around, we spent about 4 or 5 hours here. It was so pretty. We hiked around a little bit. And here's, you know, the white domes and driving around. So I spent a lot of time doing that. Just putting the pictures in the right order and cutting my cardstock. I have to embellish further. And then, you know, here's the petroglyphs. And I think I'm going to have to combine this page with this page. So it's going to end up being between 20 to 22 page protectors. Yeah. And this one I had already started at home. It needs embellishment. This one I sort of started. This one I got a collage print made up. I had to take I got the collage at Walgreens, and then I took the photos off the internet to make the collage because you weren't allowed to take pictures of the Fabergé eggs in the Bellagio, and I got in free with my Vegas, so that was a pretty fun thing to do. And then this is going to be a funny story about my husband getting locked in the MGM bathroom in our room. Yeah, see, it kind of came apart. And anyway, so I have to do that, so I kind of put that together a little bit. This page I had already done. These pages I had already done. This page I had already done. This page I had already done. Well, almost. I glued this on. And then I already had kind of these laid out. And I'm going to do one more page here, and then I'm going to do a closing page. So yeah, that's what I got done at my weekend crop, about 2 weeks ago now. This has been a really long video. So I really thank you for watching. Have a great day, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.